Have you ever walked away from a conversation with someone of the opposite gender and thought, what the heck was that? That sounded like a foreign language to me. Well, today I'm going to be sharing with you some information in communication differences based on gender and how it relates to problem solving. My name is Carrie Moore, and I first became interested in this topic when I became a diversity facilitator for Safeway. I'm certainly no expert, but now that I have some knowledge, it makes all the difference in the world. Today, I'm going to help you to recognize some of the key differences in gender communication as it relates to problem solving. First, I'm going to share with you the differences in the way men and women communicate and how it affects problem solving. Then, you'll hear how different genders approach problems when they've solved them successfully and when they're unsuccessful. And then, finally, we'll look at something as simple as a nod and how that can play a role in problem solving. So gender certainly is an interesting part of diversity. And as a diversity facilitator for Safeway, I've been able to gather quite a bit of information from my facilitator guide for the Diversity and Inclusion Workshop. The first focus point that I want to share with you all today are the differences in communication styles. Men are typically very direct. They speak in a linear fashion. I started at point A, I ended at point Z, no discussion, end of question. So the focus is not necessarily on the details, and there's certainly not a lot of emotion involved in that. Women, on the other hand, tend to be circular communicators. We will take you down the path and through the garden and over the hills and around the corner, all the while telling you all the trials and tribulations and all the emotions that we've experienced as we've taken that journey. I started at point A, I got to B, and then I went to C, and then I moved around and went to D, and I finally ended up at Z. And all the time, here's all the emotions that I felt while I was on there. So what's happening here is men report and women seek rapport. According to Cynthia Burgraff-Torpa, PhD, extension educator for the Ohio State University Extension Program, women are relationship specialists. Women want to build rapport through building relationships and strengthening and maintaining those relationships. Men, on the other hand, are analyzing issues and solving problems with very little emotion involved in relationship building. So let's look at how this affects the workplace. The director assigns a problem to two project managers, one's male and one is female. When they meet to discuss the problem, he arrives with the problem and a solution in hand. She arrives with an agenda, a list of other people she wants to involve, and all the key points that she wants to discuss in order to reach a consensus on the problem. He thinks, problem solved, end of discussion. She thinks, well, we didn't involve anybody in the process, so there's going to be a problem down the road. So let's turn our attention to the outcome of problem solving for men and women. According to Dr. Pat Heim, PhD, CEO, and founder of the Heim Group, and author of the best-selling novel Hardball for Women, men and women react differently when a problem is resolved or not resolved. A man's reaction when he successfully resolves a problem is he takes the credit for it. The male will point inward. You asked me to solve it, I did it. Was there any doubt? Now, on the flip side of that, when a man is not successful in solving a problem, they will point outward. You didn't give me enough time, I didn't have enough information. Now, when a woman successfully solves a problem, a woman will point inward. I couldn't have done it without my team. Or outward, I couldn't have done it without my team. On the flip side, when a woman is unsuccessful, she will point inward and take the blame. It was just too hard, I didn't have time. Here's a funny example from Dr. Pat Heim of a man and a woman trying to put on a pair of pants that are too small. So the man is trying to get into these pants. I can't get these pants on, there's something wrong with the zipper. So he's blaming external factors. The woman's trying to get these pants on, she's going to say, I need to go on a diet. So finally, let's look at something as simple as a nod when it comes to gender communication. As we all know from our textbook, Think Communication, by Asa Engelbert and Diana Wynn, nonverbal communication encompasses behaviors that generate meaning without using words. So let's talk about something as simple as a nod. When a man or a woman nods, Does it carry the same meaning? Well, let's take a look. A man asks to speak to his female supervisor. He's telling her all about a problem at work and all the ideas he has for improvement, and all the while she's sitting there nodding and listening and nodding, and he's thinking, man, I got this in the bag. I'm going to take on this project. I'm going to get lots of recognition. So he presents his plan at the next department meeting, and she's all over him like a train wreck. He's left feeling surprised, angry, and confused since he assumed that as she was nodding, she was agreeing with him. She's confused as to why he thought she agreed in the first place. Her nods mean, I'm listening, I understand, keep talking. Now, let's turn that situation around. If a woman is explaining a problem in the workplace to her male supervisor about her plan to make an improvement, she's giving him all the details and the people she's going to involve, and he's not nodding. And he's not nodding because he's listening intently. She perceives that in the fact that he's not nodding as he's not listening or he does not agree. So even something as simple as a nod can be misinterpreted when it comes to problem solving. So today I presented you with my thoughts on how gender differences in communication can affect problem solving in the workplace. I shared how men tend to be linear communicators and how women tend to be circular. I also shared with you how something as simple as a nod can cause misunderstanding in the workplace. So in closing, I want to challenge you to go back to work or school and observe your students and employees and look at how they communicate with each other. And maybe the next time you're having a conversation with someone of the opposite gender, you won't walk away with, what was that all about?